Welcome to KCTV Tonight. I'm your host, Joshua Poblaski, and joined here with Rebecca. And Rebecca, would you just like to tell us a little about yourself and what you're involved with?
So I am a senior here at King's College, and I am the current president of the Rotaract Club on campus here at King's College.
And so for the audience that doesn't know, though, what is the Rotaract Club?
So the Rotaract Club is a community service organization on campus. Our club specifically looks to help children in the local area to have a better life and help them in any way, but we really do go out and help in any way we can if a member wants to come forward and say we should work on this project. On campus, we are sponsored by the Wilkes-Barre Rotary, which is the more international version of us, and it's for adults after college.
That's very nice. So it seems like people, their input matters a lot there, and they have a lot to say. But if a student is interested in joining, how would one go and join it?
So the main way we get our members is during the clubs and activities fair during the beginning of the semester. We get a lot of freshmen for their community service efforts that they have to do in HCE, or we just get a lot of people who are very interested in community service in general. Later in the semester, if someone wants to join, they can just reach out to me or another officer, or even just get in contact with campus activities and say, I want to work in community service efforts, and they'll get in contact with one of us.
So it's very easy, though, to
Yes,
to go out
anyone
and
can join. We accept everyone. We are willing to take on as many people as we need, because the more people we bring to events, the better it is.
So since the start of the semester, though, like, what are some of the projects you've been working on, and what are the more stuff that you're proud of and want to exert out to the community?
So just to start with some of these service-based projects we do, and that's when we go out into the community physically and help someone. At the beginning of the semester, we started at Ruth's Place, which is the women's shelter here in Luzerne County. We went there, we interacted with the women at the shelter and did crafts with them and just talked to them. It really helps engage them with society, and really being there, it just brings joy to their face. From there, we went to Blue Chip, which is an animal rescue in Dallas, Pennsylvania, and we walked the dogs, we cleaned their cages, we fed them, we helped clean up for their open house, because these are dogs that might have been in rough situations that really need the help. And I mean, they had more than dogs, but we mostly worked with the dogs. But it was very interesting just to see all the animals there, and everyone there is a volunteer, so everyone there has a big open heart. So bringing these people, when normally their task might take 2 and 5 hours to get ready for these open house, we're able to do it and help them get done within like an hour and a half, and it really helps them along the way. We just actually wrapped up one of my favorite ones and one of our biggest ones, which was our on-campus fundraiser for St. Jude's Research Hospital. And we were in the center of campus last week handing out hot chocolate to anyone who donated coins or wrote positive messages on note cards to kids at the hospital, and I think that's one of the biggest ones we do.
So it sounds like it's a lot of fun, though, being in the club, especially when you get to go to Blue Chip and like play with the dogs, and even helping out the women at Ruth's Place. But it has to be great to just have that, to see all the excitement and joy that you bring to other people, though, in the community.
For sure. Everyone that goes to these events just has a genuine smile on their face, from the people we're helping to the people we bring, because when you start interacting with people on this level, you can't help but be happy that you're impacting their lives in some way.
And so what are some of the projects, though, that you have lined up for the future?
So in the month of November, we already we're working out the details, but we have a date on November 16th. We are going to the CEO food drive, food distribution for Thanksgiving, and we fill up carts full of a Thanksgiving meal for people in the community. So we're actually doing that with combined efforts with different clubs, but that's one we for sure have coming up. And then our other one in November also is Valley Santa, and they provide gifts for underprivileged kids in the area based off a wish list that they send in. So we will go there and either read the list that the kids have and get the toys, or we'll go there and wrap the gifts. We usually wrap the gifts, and it's fun to see the club members who are not good at wrapping gifts and the ones that are very good at it.
So you would say then the club builds character then for these students? For
sure, because coming in here, you really learn how yourself works and what impact you want to have on people. People come into the club usually saying, oh, all I need is credit for HCE, or I need to do it for this, this, and this reason. And that's fine. We will sign off on paperwork or anything you possibly need. But what we found is that the kids who come in saying this are the ones that usually stick around because they realize that in themselves this is something that they've always wanted to be a part of. It's an inherent part of them, and it just builds themselves up internally.
And so would you say then, like, you take it on a very personal level of commitment and take a lot of pride into all the work that you do within this club?
For sure. When an event isn't going as well as it probably should, I start to feel bad because we just want to give off as professional of a manner that we can and as big of a help as we can. And if things are going wrong, we need to sit down, reassess, because the work we put in reflects not only us, but Wilkes-Barre Rotary and then King's College. So we want to go out there and be a good representation for everyone else on campus and any other members to come.
Yeah, and being a part of King's, though, you do really have to help put this image out, though, and you are representing King's, but it seems like it is a lot of fun within the entire club. And
everywhere we go, they'll ask us, the one main question is, oh, where you guys go to school? And we'll be like, we're King's College, and everyone we meet will have a connection in that way somehow. And we're like, oh, we always love when King's kids come, or I went to King's, and I'm glad to see that they have such a great program developed on campus that they didn't have necessarily when I was there.
Yeah, that has to feel really good, though, to be doing all of that. But so, with all the events that you've done so far, what is your most favorite event that you have concluded then?
Definitely the St. Jude fundraiser, just because I like personally sitting at the table and seeing, it's a different aspect because you're not just seeing your club members help an organization, you're seeing a whole campus come together and working together. And they come up to the table, ask what it's about, and we're like, well, you can either donate coins or write a note card to a kid at St. Jude and get some hot chocolate out of it. And they're just so happy to be able just to make an impact on these kids' lives in just a small way during such a rough time.
And what's the event, though, that you're looking most forward to then in the future?
Second semester of every school year, we always participate in the Wilkes-Barre Rotary's mini golf tournament.
Oh, that has to be a lot of fun.
At the Osterhout Library. So we actually go there and we build our own hole, so we get a hole for ourselves. Okay. Last year we went all out and we purchased like a big blow-up dinosaur, and it's prehistoric themed, and all the kids loved it because they're only like 2-3 feet tall, but this dinosaur is like 4.5 feet tall, and they just get to go around and golf through all the courses, and there's a grand prize at the end, and all of that goes to benefit the children's section of the library at the Osterhout Library.
Well, that's very nice, though, especially that you guys could help out with the library and all the younger children of the community, though.
Exactly.
So, to end the notes, though, why should someone join this club?
I think someone should come and join this club to discover something they might have known they had a love for. Very rarely do we ever come across someone who says, I do not want to help out, I do not want to contribute. The reason we do this is because there are people in the community that are less fortunate and don't have the same opportunities as us. And if I have the capability of going out there and impacting their lives in a way that makes them feel better, why not go and do it? It builds character, it builds relationships in the community. You don't know how many people we've come in contact with, and then a club member might have gotten an opportunity because I met this guy at one of the events we did. And just all around, it just builds your experience and builds who you are.
Yeah, it really does. It sounds like it helps out a lot of students build up of who they're going to be becoming. It also helps with the resume builders. And also, like what you were saying about networking, you never know who you might run into, though, with being into all these different events.
Right.
You might even be run into your future employer one day, though.
Exactly. And I mean, this club also helped me realize that who I want to work for in the future has to have some community service aspect to it. So I'm glad that through this organization I was able to develop that and now have a company that I feel really comfortable with.
So, I mean, thank you for joining us tonight,
Thank you for having me.
But that's all the time we have tonight, and thank you for tuning in to KCTV Tonight.